have a big surprise for you. I bought you a nice little playmate. Now you two get friendly while I bring you something to eat. Oh, is this goody-goody? Here, what's all this? Why, little Pudgy, you ought to be ashamed eating that whole dish of food. Go away. Oh. That's a good little pussycat. Oh, my! Oh, dear, what am I going to do with you, Pudgy? What's wrong with you today? Why don't you play with your new playmate? No. Don't mind him, little pussycat.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, Twitch is good. Let's see how the YouTube sounds. Twitch is good. Oops, let's mute Twitch. Let's pop over and check out the YouTube. Oops, let's mute Twitch. Let's pop over and check out the YouTube. All right, YouTube is sounding good. All right, I'm just about done with the Ula Maid outfit, except I'm thinking I'm going to go add a feather duster. Just that little extra touch. And other than that, I just need to make promos for it. Anyhow, let's make a feather duster. So that's the plan for tonight. We're going to model it out in Blender. I've got some Merchant Resource by Biscuits. I think I picked it up from Renderosity with feather textures. So we're going to set that up. So we're going to use that to help texturing the feather shapes. I'm going to maybe do a little bit of coloring in Photoshop and or Substance. I think we're going to, so here, let's start with this. Let's find the picture. Open image. You know what? Can I just drag and drop you? I cannot. Can we just save image as and put you just down here on the desktop somewhere? Called download PNG. We're getting an image from Uline. They actually sell professional ostrich feather duster, 20 inches. Hey, that's a handy dandy thing. 20 inches. That gives me a size we can use. Because 20 inches in meters is like, what, 25 centimeters? 25.4 centimeters. We'll do 25. And you know what? Now that I've got this downloaded, let's load this in. Let me see. It's called download. That's right. So let's shift A. And let's load it in as a image for reference. Go to the not downloads. We'll just sort by, and you should have been right here. Where did I save you? Save image as. Where did you save? You saved to the desktop. There's my problem. There it is, download. All right. Oh, that's only part of it. Dang, dog. Let's do that again. Where is the frickin' cancel that? Can I just do this? Nope, I can't. Every time I click on this thing. All right, plan B. Control Shift. And let me see if I can just find, copy this without it being chopped up into chunks. It's all chopped up. There it is. There's a version. That works. Save image as. Where did I pull you from? I think I pulled you from the desktop. So we'll put this on the desktop. And it says H2680, something like that. So let's get rid of that. Let's try this again. Image. This is just too complicated. Seriously. Can I open this? Save image as. Well, you know what? WEBP. Let me see if this WebP I've never tried to get a whoopee. Hey, Rod, how are you doing today? Oh, just got home for Joe's birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday to Joe. Is she old enough to drink now? Is that it? I'm sorry. What am I doing here? I'm going to see if we can actually view. Nope. Photo or no, wait, there it is. Are you called shopping? Yeah, there it is. Yay, we got it. I just need to size this thing to about a little bit more than 25. He says thanks. Um, so I don't know. Do I have real? You know what? Here, we gotta just load a. We're making a feather duster today, by the way. We both had enough for 5 people, and you're both full enough for 5. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves. So Shift A, let's mesh and do a cylinder. That is way too big. So what we want, I know how big. We want a depth of 0.25, right? I'm going to do that. We're going to tab in. We're going to select all. We're going to scale, but not on the Z. So I'm just going to make that scale, but not on the Z. All right, we're gonna resize this image to match that. We're almost there. We're still a little large. And then we're going to use this as a guide. Then we can pop back into here. And I'm just going to scale that like that. We're going to add a little bit of shape to this. So I'm going to line that up there. I have a clever way to do the feathers, and I hope it works. Let's turn the X-ray on so I can do this thing here. I'm not going to put a hole in it. That's a little extra level of detail that I don't really need. So we'll do that. And you know what? You know what? That's probably good enough. So we'll just pull that down just a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of shaping to this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a bevel on there. You had brunch this morning with our sister-in-law and now the barbecue. That's one way. Just load up all your meals right off the bat. You know what? I'm going to redo this because I've got too much resolution in here. I'm gonna delete that out and we're gonna redo mesh cylinder, and this time I'm gonna say 16, and then tab in, scale but not Z, scale but not Z, scale but not Z. I think you know where I'm going with this. Scale but not Z until we get somewhere about in there. Scale but not Z a little bit more. It's good. Let's grab the top of this now. You know what? Here, we'll bring it down like so. Zoom in. Do a little bit of an extrude. Scale that out just a wee bit. Do a little extrude like that. You know what? I'm going to scale that out just a little bit more. And then extrude. And then we'll scale that like so. I'm just going to do a little bit of an inset. going to lose that face right there. Okay, we're going to come over here. We're going to bevel this end. And we're going to fix that face on the end there. So just like that. Now we got that odd end on there. So we'll swap that out and we'll do a grid fill on that, just so I look like I know what I'm doing. Face grid fill, is that what we want to do? We're going to rotate you a little bit until I get those lines running straight up and down. Nice. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more shape to this. We're going to put a cut in here and bow it out a little bit. I'm going to put a cut in here and then taper it in. So we'll start with one there. I'm going to put another one there. Then I'm just going to scale that. And then kind of just curve it out a little bit. Like that. Then we're going to select that. Maybe pull it up just a little bit. Maybe scale it down a bit. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing. So it has a little bit of shape to it. Not that you can see it. Okay, and then we want to set up a plane. So let's set some UV mapping on this before we get too far along. So I think I'm going to mark a seam there. Right? I think we'll put a seam down the back. Nope. Let's try maybe that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hide the bottom end for just a minute here. Then I'm going to run a seam right through there. And I'm going to put another seam right up in here. I wonder what these are called. Handle and something else. You know what? Let's see if Google knows. Parts of a feather duster. Feather duster. Handle, feathers, wires, and a ferrule. What's a ferrule? Is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, a ferrule, a ring cap. So this part here would be kind of a ferrule. So we're going to do that. Handle, ferrule. So let's set up some handle. Ferrule, I think something like that. So we're going to assign that to this portion here. Whoops. You know, let's give it a color just so I can make sure I know what I'm doing. Let's give you a color. We can't see them right now, but we will in a little bit. All right, now comes the tricky part, making those feathers. I have an idea what to do. So basically, we're going to take a plane. I know, just you and me, man. Charles has to work tomorrow. So he needs to call it early so he can actually wake up. And before you got here, it was just me. I don't know. Nobody loves me no more. All right. I know the work thing. That's semi-retirement for you. Thanks, Rod. I love you too, man. I love you, man. I'm not even drunk. Um, I need to put a plane in here that we're going to put our feather textures on. And let's go take a look at my feather textures. So here we go. We got Biscuits Feather Merchant Resource. I think I picked this up at Renderosity some time ago. I can use up to 5 of these. I like that one, I like that one, and I like that one. Maybe that one. I'm just gonna use 3 though. And what I'm going to do is we're gonna lay these up 10 times busier now than when you were working. How does that work? Now you're expected to do all that stuff you never had time for. Now you're realizing there's a reason why you never had time for that stuff. It wasn't because you're working, it's because there's too much of that other stuff. Yeah, so we're going to put this off to the side for now. So I need to make a feather. It needs to kind of come from here to here. So we're just going to pop a plane in here. I'm going to chop that up a few times. I think I'm going to put a loop cut, couple loop cuts here and a few more in here. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to just do that. Probably good. We'll select everything. We'll switch over to this. We'll rotate it RX 90. I'm going to look at that from the front. And then we'll just scale this. I'm going to set a material zone down here. And I think I'm going to try to make this so it could actually be deforced. So we're going to have feather and feather base. Like that. Feather, feather base. So let's make this zone down here is going to be feather base. So what I can do is in DAZ, I can put a deforce modifier on this part and maybe it'll work a little bit. I don't know. It might be a bad idea. We may say, hey, that's stupid. Let's not do that. But in the meantime, there we go. We're living for stupid. All right, looks good. I want that color a little bit different. All right, I think we're good. All right. And now we're going to narrow that down. I'm actually going to make 3 of these, I think. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a little spiral that we're going to stick in the base of that. And then we're going to run this around the spiral. Then we're going to try to clump it up on the bottom. But first things first, let's scale X. We're going to line you up kind of like that to begin with for our feather texture. And then here, I'm going to do a little bit of shaping on this. And I'm going to make 3 of these. Well, we're going to UV map them. Yeah. Yeah, and my brain stopped. I know. Oh, that's right. I want to do here. Let's select that and that. Do a little proportional editing. I'm going to curve it just a little bit. I think maybe I want to do so here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a curve like that. I think we'll pop out of X-ray. My phone's making noises. All right, you know what? I don't think I need this. I really don't need the image right now, so we're going to lose that so I can kind of see what we're doing here. Something like that. Is that what I really want? I think so. We're going to rotate this just a little bit. And then I think if I do this, oops, I got proportional editing. We'll turn the proportional editing off so we can now just kind of separate these. Kind of like that. I'm going to alter the heights a little bit. You know what? I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little connected proportional editing. Switch that to linear. So when I do this, and then we'll just make that one maybe a little bit taller. So we'll call these feathers. And this is going to be handle. All right, now we're going to get a spiral shape and we're going to line it up inside of this, right about here. And then we're going to array these along that. So here, let's tab out, Shift A. We're going to come over here. We've used the curve additional extra shape add-on. So there's this little spiral thing down in here. I don't know which one to go with. I think I'll just go with spherical. No, we don't like. Actually, do I have an option for having that not climb? Nope. Let's try that again. All right, we're not going with that one. Knots. Dang. Archimedial. Nope. Let's try it again. Spirals logarithmic. I think logarithmic is kind of what we're going for. We're going to add a few more turns. That was probably way too many. Nope, I don't like Archimedial ever either. I had one I liked, and now I forgot what it was. Maybe it was spheric. Nope. This keeps... I swear to God, this thing looks like it gets different every time. Maybe it was Archimedial. Radius growth. Oh, there we go. And then we can just bring that radius in. Like so. We've got way too much stuff in there. So we're going to take that radius growth. How many turns? You know what my problem is? Dang it. I was almost there and then I accidentally hit the wrong button. I got too many turns in there. I just maybe need maybe 4 at most. Yeah, actually that might be good. Okay, the number of steps, we're going to reduce that to maybe 8, maybe 6. I'm thinking 8 might be good. Maybe 7. And then we're going to line this up into the handle. Kind of like that. You know, this is going to make a real hot mess. GZ. Bring that up into there. Let's see how this goes. We'll put a curve modifier on this, and we'll put it onto that. Can I actually adjust this still? I guess not. So add a curve modifier. Oh, I'm actually we're going to start with an array modifier. If I do fit to curve and we say spiral, we're going to have to do some tweaking in here. And then I need to add a curve modifier. Is that what I need? Deform curve. And I say spiral on that. And then what I need to do is close these all up so they're a lot tighter. So Control L. That wasn't supposed to do that. Let's try that again. Control L. That's better. So let's do this one first. All right, tighten you up. I'm not overly concerned if they get to L. Bring you in a bit. And then I think if we tweak the X factor, well, you're not following the spiral, are you? You're supposed to be wrapping around that thing. Oh, it is wrapping around that thing. Excellent. All right, we're actually making progress. You know, it doesn't look like it. Are you not doing anything? If I do sharp, god damn it. Hmm. That is a real hot mess, isn't it? It looked a lot more promising earlier. Not gonna lie. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of these extra shapes I have in here. I kind of have a feeling that those are just mucking me up. So my orientation is a little. And it's getting distorted at the top. There's a way to do this without it to have it not get distorted like that. So let's try that. There's the trick. So I'm going to turn those off. We're just going to take a little Shift A mesh plane, scale that down, scale, scale, scale. scale some more. You know what? I might make that, we might redo this spiral a little bit too. Maybe make it a little simpler. Now we're going to just do the generate an array, fit length, no fit curve, spiral, tab in, scale, 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 like that. All right, now let's put a curve modifier on that. To the spiral. So those are whipping around like that. So I think, can I just, how does this work again? Can I just take, maybe I should spell feathers right. And then we have this little plane here. So can I just parent those? How does it go again? That, and control P, object. That went the wrong way, I think. Not really. It kind of worked. Now, how come it isn't? All right, we got to watch a YouTube video because I've already forgotten what I'm doing. It's not like I haven't done this 100 times before. Well, it wasn't 100. That's the real problem. If it had been 100, I might remember how to do this. YouTube. I am looking for Blender array along curve. There we go. Array curve like a boss. That's what I'm looking for.
Instancing object in your viewport and your render that you use to array an object along the curve without being distorted. I'm using Bezier circle, plane, and cube. Parent cube to a plane. Shift select cube first, plane second, press Ctrl P. Set parent to object. Select plane, apply an array modifier, and then curve modifier. Choose Bezier circle. Go to planes, object properties, look for instancing. Set it to faces, box being in.
Okay, plane object properties. That's what we're looking for. Object properties over here. Instancing, vertices, show, I can't read that. Align to vertex normal. All right, we're making progress actually. Believe it or not, we are making progress. We're making a lot of progress. And now I realize I've got my spiral has got too many points in it. So we're going to swap that out. But we're getting there. So I think what I can do is probably just get rid of the spiral, right? We'll try another spiral, Shift A, curve, spiral, archimedial. This time we're just going to do 2 turns. 2 turns. I think that's going to probably be good. Let's try this again. Progress. Let's see. You used to know what that was? Once upon a time. When the world was young. You know what? I think this will work. Let's try this. So let me grab the plane here. So I lost my modifiers of the plane because I... Oh, I'm in a doughy. Stimpy, you fool. Okay, that's way too many. So that's not what I want. I don't want fit the curve. Fix count, and then I can just do that, and then we just kind of factor those, and we can take that count down. We're getting there. It may not look like it, but trust me. So I'm going to tab in, select all, scale that down. Yo, Tesno Pesno, good to see you. I'm going to have to adjust the settings on the array. And I can't see what I'm doing because I got poo-poo in the way. All right. So I've got too much shape in this. I'm going to flatten it back out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. I don't think that's what I wanted. I need a little bit more in the fall off on here. So I think I'm going to do a little bit like that. I'm just going to rotate the whole thing. RX. Kind of get that so it's sitting like that. I think we can just scale this. And then I'm going to also want to scale. You know what? I should UV map this one first. Let's do that. UV editing. A. U. Unwrap. Probably good. So back to layout. All right, now I can make adjustments to this. Probably going to be good. I think I'm going to do a couple more of these and we're going to redo these shapes. And you are not sticking to, so let's take a look at the plane. Fixed count. Let's put you back to maybe 1. See, that's not too bad. So I need some real variation in there though, right? If I say fit the length, and then we can adjust the X factor. That didn't seem to work. Can I just change you? Nope, offset too small. We can't. See, that's better. There we go. I'm making progress. I was making progress until I hit the shift key. Okay, there we go. So I think the idea is to maybe duplicate these. Let's put these into a collection. And then I can just dupe the collection, right? Duplicate the collection. I'm going to hide the first one. I'm going to change our I don't know, where am I? You know what? I think one more would probably be good. So shift, oops, I'm in. So duplicate this one. Yo, DJ Ray. Um, let's open you up. Let's come over here and here. Let's make you visible. Let's come into here. I'm going to do some UV editing. Control L, G, X. I think that'll be fine. Control L, G, X. Probably good. Back to layout. Okay, this one here. I'm going to take that spiral tab in, RZ. So we're going to rotate that a little bit. All right, I've got to tab out, select feathers, tab in, get you from the side. I don't know, I really can't see what I'm doing. Maybe something like that. I think that'll kind of be good. I think I'm going to duplicate this one more time and we'll give it a little bit more curve. Then we're going to convert all this to mesh and give it some randomness. And then we're going to get it to fit that there. So let's take this, duplicate collection. There we go. Come down to here. Let's hide the other 1, 2, 3. Pop into here. And let's activate the sharp on that. Let's do the little bit of fall off on that. So when I do it, we can kind of do this and this. I think something like that might work. I need to get some variations in the heights in here though. So this might get a little tedious. So here, let's try. So can I just grab all of these, bring them all back like that? One of these is supposed to be in the middle here. Why are you not in the middle like you're supposed to be? Bad boy, bad boy. Am I in edit mode? I am in edit mode. Am I not selecting an edge? I can't find what I'm working on. Damn it. It's just, I got just too much noise in here. There we go. No. Right. Oh, I hit it. Damn it. Okay, is this better? This is going to make a hot mess. I know. Do I have my 4? 1, 2. I did not see you do anything. Because I'm still in edit mode. That's probably... No, I just don't see this collection doing anything. You know what? Let's just convert all of this. Can I convert all of this in one fell swoop to curves? Does that work? Probably not. Can I just convert you to a curve? No, you all became... No, I didn't want to convert to curves. What the hell? I want to convert to mesh. That's what I'm trying to do. I think I can select that object. Convert to mesh. Yeah, definitely. Frenchmade is just about done. I just wanted to add this little feather duster. I probably won't do it again this way in the future. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just, here, we're going to do this. Export. Actually, let me make sure that this is UV mapped out. Let's actually make sure everything's UV mapped out. I'm going to select the handle. AU. Looking good. Uh-oh. Alt H. I lost the bottom of the handle, damn it. AU. There we go. That's better. Control I. Control L. No, let's select the select that and unwrap. That is good. All right, is good, is good. Except I want this over here, I think. So I've got a little bit of overlap between this and the feathers. So we need to fix that. Put those over there. And then I can just bring these back. Let's rotate this. Can I fit you up in here? I'm not sure what that is. We'll figure that out in a little bit. See, I can get that back into there. That's probably good. Okay, I got to figure out. I've got this something in here that I don't know what it is. Oh, I know what you are. You're those little plain pieces that I don't need. There, all good. I know, I hate it when you lose the bottom. Nope, wrong thing. We're just gonna put you down there. We're just gonna double check and make sure you look fine. All right, I think I'm good. So if I come over here into layout, something went amiss. Am I in object? I am in object mode. Why am I not seeing? What did I lose all my stuff? Oh, it's because I deleted the planes. Damn it. They were still important. Doy. I can delete them later, but for right now. And am I not seeing everything? Oh my gosh, I'm so confusing myself. I think I broke it. I was going so well, and then I think I just turned left instead of going right. Um, I'm tempted to just delete these. And try again. Where's the delete? There we go. And we'll start over. And I'm going to start over with that. And do I have my spiral? And I got my spiral. All right. And I need my plane. So Shift A, mesh, plane, tab, scale, 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 scale. Okay, should be good. Okay, so I'm going to apply that to those. So add a modifier, do an array. Fit length, no fit curve to spiral. And then I need a curve modifier in here. So we're going to deform along the curve. Did that not? There we go. So we have this running along that curve. So I'm going to edit this curve a little bit. Try to get that so that the plane parts aren't sticking out. Something like that. And where's the tool for this? There's the thing that lets me do the thing. You know, the thing? So we can grab a bunch of these. And I can change the radiuses on some of them. And let's see how this works out. It did. It resized those. So now when I parent this, so select that and that, and Control P, and Control P, like so. And then I have to do the instancing thing, right? Over here. I don't see it. Somewhere in here should be something that says instancing. And I'm just not seeing it. What the hell? Oh, did I parent you to the spiral? I parented you to the spiral. I didn't want to parent that to the spiral. I want this and this. I want this and this. And then Control P. And then Control P. Object. And then I can come over here. And there's my instancing. I can say vertices. And I can say align to vertex normal. And then I need to rotate something. Something like that. It's funny, I'm changing the sizes, but this doesn't. Does my instancing, can we adjust the instancing on the plane? Nope, I'm stuck in to that. And then if I come in here and rotate, oh, that is just wackadoodle. So I'm just going to put that back like that. And we need to adjust the array again on the plane, right? You know what? Let's just do a fixed count. Say 1. Constant offset. Nope. Object offset. Does that do anything? Nope, I don't want to do that. I guess it's relative offset. Although, why are you so weirdly clumpy? And why can't I just move you guys? It's just a little too cyclic, isn't it? Is the feather not parented to the plane? Is that my problem? No, it's right there. Why are you? Why are you not following better? That's what I should really be. All right. I would almost be better off just copying these and spinning them around. I was so optimistic that this would work. And my test looked good. but of course, when you do something on stream, it always goes poo-poo. So I think what I'm going to do is we're just, I'm just going to redo the feathers. And we'll just get rid of, this whole group here. And I'm just going to go back to Shift A, Mesh, Plane, Tab in, RX90, Scale. There's my empty. So we're going to kind of line that like that. So let's add some little bit of shape in here. Something like that. Stuff works until you read exactly. So I'm going to put that there. Put you there. Bring you in like that. Did I forget to, let's UV map this. Looking good. Okay, we're going to turn off the proportional editing. So I can just do this. Okay, and then we put proportional editing back on. And we can kind of just do this. And then I'm going to just dupe that a bunch of times. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Can I just dupe all of these now? Excellent. And grab all of these. Actually, tab out, tab in, and then I can just kind of oops. How many have I got? 14. And I've got kind of 4 done already. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think 13, 14. Yo, Pojo, how are you doing? It has been a little while. I'm trying to make a feather duster, and I was trying to do it clever, but that's not working out. So we're just going to do brute force. Let's switch you back to median point. I'm doing well, thanks. You know what? I don't need to be seeing the that anymore. All right, so that's the first pass. You know what? I'm going to duplicate this, size it up a little. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to flare this out. Let's try this. Let's switch into X-ray. Let's go into point mode. Let's just kind of grab all of those and just scale like that. Probably give me a little bit more shape. Then I think I'm going to then just, you know what? I think I'm just going to weld these together. Can we just Control J those? That makes it, and I can just do a Shift D, and I can just rotate just on the Z a little bit. Then we can tab in, and I can just take that. Is that tab in? Grab those. Scale. Kind of like that. I probably should have split the UVs up a little bit better. I'm trying to think. There's a way to stack these things. The procedural nerd in me is thinking, I don't understand GeoNodes well enough for that. So I think this might do the trick, though. I'm back in object mode, but I can't see what I'm doing. So it's going to look kind of like that. So I'm going to set this up so I can use 3 different transparencies. So I'll probably just randomly, so they're all UV'd for one. I'll probably randomly grab a bunch of them, move them over, then grab a bunch of the others and move them over. And then I can take 3 transparency maps and use that. This might be a hot mess down here. This may or may not work. It's feathers, though. You do mentorship one-on-one sessions. I'll keep that in mind. I'm cheap, though. That's my real problem. And brain has stopped. Yeah, we're gonna let's combine all of these. And I no longer am seeing my. I fat fingered something. File. Save as. Let's save this. I'm going to shut this down and relaunch it because I fat fingered something on my interface and I can't see my tools anymore. And it will take me a little while. It might be faster to shut things down. Projects. I think this is in launcher. Oh, I keep forgetting I can't do that. I hate the fact I can't type in letters to navigate in Blender. Otherwise, I would already be done. And one of my problems is if you would teach me something, I would probably forget it within a week. That's a that's another thing. I can barely remember how to do arrays along curves. I always have to look that up. And I've done it a dozen times. That's the thing. What am I doing? I'm relaunching Blender. And we're going to open up the feather duster. And yeah. All right, what did I turn off? Oh, there it is. Did I click on that by accident? That's what I did. There we go. See, I can't remember. This is one of those things where, like, once a year, I'll accidentally turn overlays off, and then I can't remember how to turn them back on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to come into here. We're just going to randomly select maybe every third one going around. Pop over to UV editing. Nope, that's the wrong thing. We'll pop over to UV editing. Grab all of that. Move that over there. Let's hide those. Then we're just going to grab every other one or something. Bring you maybe somewhere over here. Alt H. All right, so that's looking kind of okay. I think I gotta remap. No, you're mapped. I just need to put them somewhere useful. Array along a curve is easier with G nodes. I'll have to look into that someday. Okay. Do that. Tighten that up a little bit. Should be good. Am I... That's a little closer to the edge than I would like. So this is probably going to be good. So I'm going to save this out as a template. Export UV layout. You know what? Let's put this where it's actually going to finally live. I'm currently working out of this test folder here. Templates. Ulamade. Duster UVs. You know what? Let's see 4096, because what the hell. Export that. Let's hit save on this. Let's export this out. Actually, let's give these things colors. And let's separate these out. Control L. Actually, let's come over to here so I can do this. And this is going to be Feather 02. It's actually Feather 01 right now, but I'm going to make you Feather 02. So this is going to become Feather 02. Let's give that a different color so we can spot it. And then I want another one for Feather 03. And I'm going to send it to those. Give you a color. And then I think we're good. That I should change the color to be a little bit different. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm going to texture this in Substance just because it's easier to get the wood texture or the plastic texture I want. Although I'm probably going to line, I'm probably going to line up the colors in the trans maps in Photoshop for the feathers because I have a feather trans. So we're going to call you Feather Duster. And then we'll export that twice because I need a version for Substance. What time is it? Oh, I got plenty of time to get this textured. I'm probably not going to get the hand poses done. And I'm hoping this doesn't look too... This is going to be like a hot mess, but that's kind of what feather dusters look like anyhow. Although, you know what? I do want a separate UV zone down here on the bottom. So we're going to go back to UV editing. Because I want a material down here that's going to be base. Oh, and you're at the tops. Okay, never mind. There we go. That's the base. So these are all upside down. We can fix that. Control L. RZ180. Yay. All right, now I'm gonna set this to be feather base. Let's do that. Oh, I already had a feather base in here. Why don't we just use that instead? All right, now I'm ready to start exporting. Activate export, use the DAZ preset. French made duster. French made feather duster. There we go. You have the materials. And actually, I'm going to put this into the substance folder. It's just easier to keep track of. Yo, art. Is that the art? All right, that's once. This is twice. No materials. Just because substance is kind of a butt that way. Okay, let's pop this into substance and give that, and then we'll also, here, we can take the UV template. And open that up with Photoshop. So we have these merchant resource feather textures that I'm going to use. So I think I'm going to grab these three and then line them up. And we'll use those. I'll also set the color up. Let's take a look at our... We were just shopping for feather dusters. So I'm probably just going to color sample this a little bit. So we'll probably just put a simple gradient on there, maybe. Blend it in with the texture a little bit for a little variation. I know it's a little crooked. It's close enough. So here, let's take... Can I just drag and drop you in here? That would be too easy, wouldn't it? There we go. I love it when a plan comes together. Nope, Control P. Let's do that. Can I just... Control T. And I'm going to just hold this shift button down while I do these. It's going to get a little stretchy, but that's fine. So I don't know, which one did I just grab? I grabbed that one. All right, let's grab this one here. Hopefully these are thick enough to give me nice... One worry is that it ends up looking too thin after this. In which case, I guess I just pop in and just dupe it and rotate a little bit. So we'll go with that. Let's put another layer in here for color. So actually, let's put a backing layer in here for black. New layer. And we'll use that as the opacity map. So file, save as a copy. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to stick it right here and we'll move it. Duster opacity. And can I just, and I can't see, sorry. If anybody's talking, I can't see it. Best viewers. Damn it. Does my stream only got one viewer? Is that right? Did my Twitch stop? I could have sworn I had two. Nope, I guess it's just Rod. If Rod's still here. Is Pojo still here? I know. I gotta get rid of that. Where is it? I'm in the wrong browser. Uh, Here, let's do this. I gotta go to this, and then I gotta go over to my. Here, let's do this. I gotta go to this, and then I gotta. There it is. I see it now. Die, you gravy sucking pig. All right, moving along. I'm gonna merge these. There we go. Did I save this? File save as a copy. I did, but we're already good. I want to duplicate this. I want to maybe shift it just a little. Maybe do a little bit of an overlay. Maybe set up a gradient. Can I still remember how to even set up gradients? Is it right there, gradient tool. You know, the gradient tool used to be easier to use, I think. Didn't I used to be able to just click on this and get into it once upon a time? There it is. That's what I wanted. Some rocket scientist at Adobe goes, you know what? We're going to make that harder to use. Nope, that's the wrong one. I want to put that in here on a new layer. That did not go the way I wanted. I never can get the direction right on these things. That's not as dark as it probably should be. Actually, I'm kind of going in the right direction. Yeah, actually, that's what I wanted. Let's. You know what? It's It's the strength of the overlay. Oh, and I'm doing a. God damn it! I don't know. We'll try that for color. We're gonna merge this with what we do in Substance Painter. So let's get Substance Painter launched up here. And file new. Select. Where are we? We're totally in the wrong spot here. At least I can type to go to where I need to go there. So feather duster, no materials. There we go. Okay. Is that working? That looks like it worked. Let's do our bacon. I may hate this when we get done too. Gotta say, I'm not overly thrilled with how it's looking right now, but maybe when we get the transparencies in there. It'll look a little better. Am I baking at 8K? No, I'm not. I'm baking at 2K. Why are you getting weird? I may be pushing my memory limits here. Although I shouldn't be. I'm only streaming and I don't have too many things open. But that definitely looks like it has stopped. Can I? See, I can't even save anything now, can I? File. Here we'll do file save as. Ooh la, feather duster. Okay, let's see if I can bake it now. Is it just the amount of stuff I have in here is just taking ambient occlusion up forever? It might be. And do I really need ambient occlusion? Maybe not. Because I really I'm just popping in here to give me a wood and a plastic, wood and a plastic materials, and we're doing the feathers in Photoshop. And this is really bogged down, hasn't it? Yes, you have. There it goes. It moved. I saw it. It moved. So all of these planes, it's taking forever for it to calculate this stuff. Hopefully position goes faster once we... I can see there's the ambient occlusion map. Curvature map. Also, the fact I've got all these overlapping UVs probably isn't helping this. So I probably should have just checked these two off. Yeah, we'll see. I'm committed now. Uh-oh. My stream's buffering. Am I moving? I am not moving on Twitch. Am I going to cancel it? Am I going to cancel it? Yeah, I'm going to cancel it. All right. I'm going to uncheck these. Now let's try this and see if this... These worked out fast enough. There we go. That's a little better. Let's pop over here to the painting. Oh no, it's not smooth. I gotta resave it. Oh, Farfignugan. You get committed next week. Okay. All right. I'll see you then, man. F6. Feather duster, damn it. F6. Feather duster with materials. There we go. Now we're going to pop over to here. I'm going to reload. Reload that. You know, file new. I'm just going to do file new. Damn it. Did it fail? I'm not seeing nothing. Failed to load 3D scene. What the hell happened? Uh, okay, there it is. There we go. You're still not smooth. What the hell? Now it's shade smooth. Fine, be that way. There we go. All right, now let's do bake. I'm not going to get those two. All right, we're going to bake the ID. We'll see how that works out. This might get a little complicated. Let's do file save as. All right. Yep, I'm overwriting you. Here, I gotta come into here. Click on that. Choose the one with the. There we go. It should be fine, but I don't know why my preview is not coming up. Let's tighten you up. See if I get a little love out of this. All right, I think I'm good. H Beach Honey. I'm just going to grab that, put that on there. We're going to just, nah, I think I'm, here, let's type in wood. It's an evil plot by he who shall not be named. Oh, we can say Mitch's name. Oh, you mean he? Oh, you mean him? Where's my rotation on this thing? Might work better if I actually click on the thing I'm looking for, right? There we go. I like that. You know, instead of UV projection, I think I'll just use the triplanar. I think that looks nice. Let's just do a little plastic. Maybe a little, what do you use? Sci-fi smooth vinyl. Did that not work? What the hell happened there? Let me see if I can get those feathers on here. And maybe we can make a normal map out of that as well. So where did I save you? I think I just stuck you into a template folder somewhere because I was being lazy. Did I move that out of the template folder? I did not. There it is. Control X. let's move you over to the whip folder for Frenchmaid. I'll just put that right there. Okay, Ula made dust opacity. I'm going to load that in as a resource. Import resources, add a resource, whip. If I do this by date modified, I can find, no. You're right in here. Dang it. I totally, what was it? You were like, Ula made, there it is. I'm just going to call you a texture, even though I'm using it as mostly an alpha, and we'll use it for this project. So I'm going to do that. You know what? I'm going to put a fill layer in here. I'm going to do an opacity. I'm just going to drop that onto there. What happened to my, oh, this is in the way, right. Let's put a black mask on there. Let's put a color selector on there. Let's select that and that and that. Let's change the color so I can see if I'm actually doing anything. One of you didn't get selected, it looks like. There we go. That's better. And am I not? You know what? I can't see the opacity because I don't have the thing to show the opacity turned on. So let's do that. Let's put the thing so I can see the opacity. Is it one of these shaders? I always forget where they hide this stuff. Maybe something like that. There we go. And let me put a height on here. And we'll drop that into the height channel. I'm also going to convert that into a here we'll put a filter on there to do the height to normal. Okay, this needs some work. I will probably do that off stream. Or else I may just decide that I'm not really liking how this is going. I might change the UVs a little bit. I'm getting, you know, I probably need to trim these off or something. Maybe we'll do that. If we trim those off, they'll look a little bit, I don't know. But let's change that color. Can I put a gradient in here? That would be really cool, right? I'm sure there's a way to do a color with a gradient or a positional thing. I just can't think of what that is off the top of my head right now. You know what? I'm just going to kind of go with that for right now. And I probably am going to put these on in Blender, and then I can shape this out a little bit better once we have a texture on it. So I think this is, we're making progress on this thing. So if I do file, export textures, let's do a 6-channel export. Have I saved you? I did. Okay, excellent. All right, looks good. Open the output directory. Come over here, Control X all of that. Let's zip over to my projects. So this is going to go in here. So I'm going to put here Feather Duster. Ula made. Here we'll just so I Ula made Feather Duster. Paste those there. Let's take a look at how this is looking. And I need to do some tweaking on it, that's for sure. And then I have to make hand poses still. Are you my import? You look like my import. Nope. Wrong way. This one right here. Go into surfaces, do that. Put my base shaders on. Feather Duster. All right, let's set these up. I don't think I need a metallic map, but we've got that, so I'm just going to drop that in right now. I got a really rough base color, which didn't drop in. I'm going to, you know, I do have a height map, and I do have a normal map. It is redundant, I know. Glossy roughness and opacity right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I'm going to hit render on this. So I'm probably going to set this up in Blender so I can, because it's looking a little thin. So in Blender, we're going to fill it out so it fits this a little bit better. And I'm probably going to tweak the textures on these because they look really spiky. And that's just because of the way I stretched everything out. So what I might do is stretch them out and then trim them off on the tops so they're not as spiky. So let's go ahead and set this stuff up in Blender. So let's turn that off. Let's pop back over to Blender and we'll actually put the textures on. I kind of remember how to do this. Let's see if I remember how to do Node Wrangler. Because I don't really do, is it Control-Shift-T? Is my Node Wrangler installed? So we're going to put the textures on here in Blender and then call it a day. Preferences, add-ons, Node Wrangler is not turned on. Okay, now let's try it. That still didn't work. How does, is it Control-Shift-T? Damn it. Let's go take a look at what it says. Node Wrangler. Does this tell me how to use it? That would be too easy, right? Show hotkey key list. Node Wrangler. Use the panel in the slide bar on the other and press SW. Connect to nodes. Is that Shift W? Load. It's been a little while since I've actually used. And I thought it used to be Control Shift T, but apparently not anymore. Um, and I can't sort my brain through the documentation. Node Wrangler usage. Built-in add-on. Key function lazy mix. Material setup. Node Wranglers for setting up composing to organize benefits. Arg. Node Wrangler load PR textures, edit preferences add-ons. I don't Control Shift T. It says Control Shift T. Select the principal. Oh, do I have to actually have it selected? Was that my problem? That was my problem. Damn it. See, that tells you how long it's been. Let's see. Hopefully, I think I've got enough. It should recognize those. Did I not just put the, Oh, I know what. I think I know what's going on. No, it says principal. Yeah, you're not showing me the, Arg. I was really kind of hoping that it would show me what this looks like, and I don't know why. You are being... See, I have a metallicity there. I have an alpha there. I don't know. Anyhow, I think we're going to hit save and call it a night. It's been so long since I used materials in Blender. I've totally forgotten how to do this. Anyhow, I've made good progress. I think I'm going to end up with a feather duster for this product. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Rod, it's always a pleasure. Art, thanks. Pojo, good to see you pop in. And let's hit save on this. And let's find somebody to go say hi to. Do I actually have anybody? I have 2 viewers. I have Rod and somebody else. So thanks. Let's go over and say hi to, let's see who's on the Twitch first tonight, and say hi to hopefully one of the art friends. If I don't see any of the close art friends, I'm just going to call it a night. Just Josh Wu's doing Fortnite. Cyrus Stan is doing stuff. You know what? I'm just going to call it a night. Thank you all for being here. I will be back on, is today Thursday? I will be back on Saturday, 1 p.m. We'll be doing something 3D that'll end up in Dad's studio. And then, of course, it's the Saturday Night Social, 8 p.m. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. We've been rewatching old Betty Boop cartoons. So feel free to join the Discord. Hey, go shop my dad's store. I've got a new product today. The 60s Go-Go outfit just got released in the dad's store today. Check it out. Good to see you, Rod. Did I do this? Yeah, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do this. And we always have Charles in our hearts, even when he can't be here. Yeah, see you Saturday, Rod. Thanks for being here, man. So let me, I'm going to say hasta la vista and call it a night. Alrighty, catch you later. Hasta la vista, baby.